Hi everyone, it's Gillian. Welcome to my channel and another crochet stitch tutorial. For today's tutorial, we are working on this heart gift bag. This is the front and this is what the back of the pattern looks like. Let's get started. To begin, you're going to chain 18. For row 1, you're going to skip the first stitch and make a single crochet into the next stitch, and you're going to do it from the back bump. You're going to make one single crochet into every stitch until you get to the end of your row. Continue with your row of single crochets and I'll meet you at the end. And that is the end of row 1. For row 2, you're going to chain 1 and turn. You're going to make a single crochet into the first stitch, and you're going to make one single crochet into every stitch until you get to the end of the row. That is the end of row 2. For rows 3, 4, and 5, you're going to repeat row 2. And I'll meet you back here to begin row 6. You should have a total of 5 rows of single crochet, and you should have a piece that looks like this. To begin row 6, you're going to chain 3. And that chain 3 counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. You're going to skip this first stitch, and into the next stitch you're going to make a double crochet. Chain 1, this will be the start of your repeat. Skip 1 and make a double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1 and a double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1 and 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Repeat all the way to the end of the row. At the end of the row, you have 1 stitch left. You're going to make a chain 1 and a double crochet into that last stitch. And you should have 9 chain 1 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And that is the end of row 6. For row 7, you're going to chain 1 and turn. You're going to skip the first stitch, and into the chain 1 space, you're going to make a single crochet. And this will be the start of your repeat. You're going to make a single crochet into the double crochet, 1 single crochet into the chain 1, single crochet into the double crochet, and 1 single crochet into the chain 1. You're going to repeat all the way to the end of the row, and I will meet you there. At the end of the row, you have 1 stitch left, and you're going to make a double crochet into the top of the chain 3. And that is the end of row 7. And you should have 17 stitches as you started with in the beginning of row 1. For row 8, you're going to repeat row 2. You're going to chain 1 and turn. And you're going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch until you get to the end of the row. And that is the end of row 8. To continue, you got from the rows 9 through 31, you're going to repeat row 2. That's 22 more rows of single crochet stitches. So go ahead and repeat those rows, and we'll meet back here to begin row 32. After making an additional 22 rows of single crochet, you should have a piece that looks like this. We're now going to continue with row 32, and we're going to, for row 32 to 41, we're going to make the hard portion of the bag. And we're going to use Fair Isles crochet to do that. So to begin row 32, you're going to chain 1 and turn. You're going to make a single crochet into the first 8 stitches. 1, 2, 7. On the 8th stitch, you're going to hold it there and you're going to switch colors. You're going to drop color A and you're going to add color B, whatever color that you choose for the hard portion. And you're going to switch color, you're going to put the yarn over the hook and you're going to pull it through. Into the next stitch with color B, you're going to make a single crochet. You're not going to finish that single crochet stitch. Instead, you're going to drop it to the back and you're going to pick up color A and you're going to finish that single crochet stitch. And you're going to continue and make 1 single crochet into the next 8 stitches all the way to the end of the row. And that's the end of row 32. You just created the bottom of the hat, which is that point, and it will become more apparent the further we go along. For row 33, you're going to chain 1 and turn, and you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 6. On your 7th stitch, you're not going to finish it. You're going to drop the color A to the front. You want everything to be on the same side, all the ends. You're going to pick up color B and you're going to finish the 7th stitch. With color B, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches. And behind this loop, there's a stitch and you don't want to miss that. Now on the 3rd stitch here, you're going to drop your color B and you're going to pick up color A to complete the stitch. And you're going to be running the floats across, and you want to be careful not to pull it too tight, otherwise your work is going to pucker. And you're going to continue and you're going to make 1 single crochet into the remaining 7 stitches. It's 1, 2, and 7. And that is the end of row 33. For row 34, chain 1 and turn. Make 1 single crochet into the next 6 stitches. 5, 6. On the 6th stitch, we will be switching colors, so we're going to drop our color A. We're going to pick up color B to finish that 6th stitch. We're now going to make 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches with color B. On the 5th stitch, we're going to drop color B and pick up color A to finish that stitch. We're now going to make 1 single crochet into the remaining 6 stitches. And that is the end of row 34. For row 35, chain 1 and turn. Make 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches. On the 5th stitch, we will be switching colors, so you're going to drop color B, pick up color A, and with color A, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 7 stitches. And remembering that there's a stitch hiding behind there, so you want to get that stitch. Because I am making 7 single crochets with the color B and I don't want to have such a long float going across, what I'm going to do, I'm going to attach the float here on the 4th stitch, and then I'm going to drop it and I'm going to finish the rest of the stitches. On the 7th single crochet with color B, I'm going to drop it and I'm going to pick up color A and I'm going to finish the single crochet stitches, which is 5 single crochets. And that is the end of row 35. 36, you're going to repeat row 35, you're going to chain 1 and you're going to make these stitches just as they are in row 35, and we'll meet back here for row 37. For row 37, you're going to chain 1 and turn. You're going to make 1 single crochet into the first 4 stitches. On the 4th stitch, we're going to switch color to color B. And with color B, you're going to make 9 single crochets. Halfway through, I'm going to add that float so that I don't have a long float going across, because that can become problematic when you and may pucker your work. So I'm going to add the float right here on the 5th stitch halfway through, and then I'm going to let it go just like I did before, and I'm going to continue making my stitches. On the 9th stitch, I'm going to drop color B and pick up color A. I'm going to finish my stitches. And that is the end of row 37. For row 38, you're going to repeat row 37, you're going to chain 1 and turn, and you're going to repeat row 37 just as it is here, and we'll meet back for row 39. For row 39, you're going to chain 1 and turn. You're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. On the 4th stitch, you're going to drop color A and pick up color B to finish the stitch. And with the color B, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. On the 4th stitch, you're going to drop color B and pick up color A to finish the stitch. And with color A, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next stitch. You're not going to finish it. You're going to drop color A and pick up color B. And you're going to make 1 single crochet into the remaining 4 stitches with color B. And that last stitch, you're going to drop color B and pick up color A. And you're going to make 1 single crochet into the remaining 4 stitches. And that is the end of row 39. For row 40, you're going to repeat row 39. You're going to chain 1 and turn, and you're going to repeat row 39 just as it is here, and we'll meet back for row 41. For row 41, you're going to chain 1 and turn. You're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches. On the 5th stitch, you're going to drop color A and pick up color B, and with color B you're going to make 2 single crochets. On that 2nd single crochet, you're going to drop color B and pick up color A, and with color A you're going to make 3 single crochets. On that 3rd single crochet, you're going to drop color A and pick up color B, and with color B you're going to make 2 single crochets. On the 2nd single crochet, you're going to drop color B and you're going to once again pick up color A, and with color A you're going to finish by making 5 single crochet into the last 5 stitches. That is the end of row 41, and you just created the heart portion for this little gift bag. And you can go ahead and cut color B because you no longer need it, and just leave a bit of a tail so you can sew it in later. For row 42, you're going to chain 1 and turn, and you're going to make a single crochet into the 1st stitch and 1 single crochet into every stitch until you get to the end of the row. And that is the end of row 42. For rows 43, 44 and 45, you're going to repeat row 42, and we'll meet back here for row 46. Row 46 will be a repeat of row 6. You're going to chain 3, and that chain 3 counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. Into the next stitch you're going to make a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 stitch and a double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch and a double crochet into the next stitch, and you're going to repeat until you get to the end of your row. At the end of the row you have 1 stitch left. You're going to chain 1 and make a double crochet into the last stitch, and that is the end of row 46. Row 47 will be a repeat of row 7. You're going to chain 1 and turn. You're going to skip the 1st stitch, and into the 1st chain space you're going to make a single crochet, 1 single crochet into the double crochet stitch, 1 single crochet into the chain space, and you're going to repeat to the end of your row. At the end of the row you have 1 stitch left, which is the turning chain, and you're going to make a single crochet into the top of the chain 3. That is the end of row 47. For row 48 you're going to chain 1 and turn, and you're going to make 1 single crochet into each stitch until you get to the end of the row. That is the end of row 48. For row 49, 50 and 51 you're going to repeat row 48, and I'll meet you back at the end of row 51. At the end of row 51 you're going to fasten off, and you're going to cut your yarn, and you're now going to sew in your ends. Just a little tip that when you sew in your ends for the colored part of this pattern, you want to make sure to sew in your ends into the same light color so that it doesn't show up on the other side. When we come back, we're going to stitch up the sides and create the bag. Just a little tip about this pattern. If you are not okay with the last row being a wrong side row, as you can see, the right side is inside. If the wrong side being on the outside bothers you, one thing that you can do, you can add an additional row before row 6, and then at the end you can add an additional row to compensate for the additional row in the beginning. You don't want to add an additional row at the end when you didn't add one in the beginning, because then you will have the front part of it sitting above the top like this. It will be uneven. Another thing that you can do is you can tear out the last row and you can fasten off here. You can cut your yarn and you can start a new row from the left side. Put a slip knot on your hook and you can start by making a single crochet into the first stitch here, and you just continue on with your single crochets, and that will give you also a right side. That will give your last row and make your last row the right side out. So that's just 3 options that you have. You can leave it as is, or you can add an additional row, or do it this way. And then you'll just fasten off here. And sew in the remaining ends. We've sewn in all our ends, and we're going to put the wrong side facing each other. And we're going to use a running stitch to sew the ends together. Before I get started with my stitch, I like to put a locking stitch marker at the top to hold the ends together so that it doesn't shift. Make sure that everything is even, make sure that it doesn't shift while I'm sewing. And I'm going to start with your running stitch. I already have my needle threaded, and to start with the running stitch I go inside so that the tail end is on the inside. You can always flip it over and fasten it later on. And I start from the back where my end is coming out. And for the running stitch, you're just going to go back and forth. It's a pretty simple stitch. And this is the whole process, back and forth. All the way to the end. And I try to go as close as possible to the stitch, to the first stitch or the last stitch that I made, not to leave like a huge gap in between. I think for something like this, you're probably just going to be putting candy or, you know, nothing too heavy. But it makes for a cute little gift bag. And then for this portion, I hide the tail end on the inside. I go through one of the stitches and I go on the inside. And I just and I go down. And then and you're going to repeat the same on the next side, and we'll meet back here. After you finish sewing up both sides, your work should look like this. You now can add a ribbon. I don't have a ribbon, so what I did, I crocheted a cord, and we're going to run the cord through these loops. We're gonna insert it into the first loop, and we're just gonna go in and out. I think the only color ribbon that I have is red, and it didn't seem to really go with this. You're just gonna weave it in and out all the way around. And when I come to the side, see, I didn't go around, I went through. And there you have it. You can even up the straps a little bit. And there you have it. You have a cute little tote for Valentine's Day or whatever it is that you choose. You can put candy or whatever you want inside. You can cinch it closed. And that's it. That's the end of the tutorial. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As always, thank you for visiting, and I'll see you in the next video.